project at large and give you a little bit of insight into what it is that we actually are doing. Today, we've got a special guest, the very first artist minted on our platform, African Bwoy from Ghana. He's going to come on and give us a little bit of insight into what it is that inspires him, what it is that he is going to be doing in the future, and how OJE has worked out for him. After that, we'll be on with Eric Robertson, or as many know him, Momo, the president of the organization, talking about the ins and outs of the project and giving understanding of what we're providing for the public and what can be expected in the near future from us. So without further ado, I'm going to be popping on some tunes. We have the exclusive honor of being the first place you will ever hear this one. This is Personal by African Bwoy, and after that, we'll actually get a chance to talk with him personally. Hang on with me.
Got no time for hypes, man. Some things on the street, I am sad, man. I address them in my own way. Who done here already? African Bwoy. They call me Hey Boy. Who be Johnny? O minti mini makame wana makame ho kwa dio yimi America to mi same ho we in a million muso ko tra me dame ho na dia fata wakani ba no so dia empa me ho kwa pusa read the flow o si kase me a vice man ready a mommy blow crazy by just me a vice man just had it me flow that's where your boss what is your boss man I call this person I'm a word for the industry. What you mean? What come in? Time for the unity. The unity? Yes, the unity. They don't want you to say, well, woman, you don't want capabilities. Yeah, why you not quiet? If I need to go to Musano, you're through the piano. You know, Saturday, Coprano. You want him near Chano? Wano? Chano? Because he said, no, you need not Babu Wano. What come in and so tell me how? Can this sit as us? Because they couldn't name a timing. Now, what come in DMC? Give me rhyming, hear me training my man. Man, I don't do this for the fame of the penny. Yeah, you say my Tommy Craft for the game, no who hear me. Oh, yeah, oh, Lord. If I'm to freak them out, them go jam to my lyrics like a concert. My brother name will concert. My cardi be like offset. Big ups to everybody that relate to my content. Man, I'm done with this shit. You already know what this is personal. And y'all know, and y'all Casamassa, Allah. Ubejane Ujani Awadi.
All right. So I'm here with African Bwoy, one of our artists on the platform. He's the very first artist that we have minted on the platform, and we're very excited to have him. He's all the way from Ghana, giving us a worldwide pretension. We're very excited about it. I wanted to ask you a few questions today, just regarding, your overall outlook on the project. And at first, I wanted to ask you, hey man, what got you into music?
About that, like way back in school, I used to have some friends around, and some of them were into drums and others, so they will be hitting on the school decks and they will be playing some sounds and the whole lot. So as those things were going on, when they started doing that, playing the drums on the tables and others, then we were putting words into it, making something out of that. So it all started from there.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that free form magic of music. I love it. That brings people together. Rad. So how long have you been performing?
For that, let me say it's been 6 years now. but due to some difficulties and others, we've been underground since then, and people don't get to hear us all the time. It's not easy to bring your stuff out.
Yeah, I understand that definitely. We all have hurdles to get over as musicians. I'm a musician myself, and I tell you, sometimes my music project's been around for going on 15 years, and sometimes it's
Yeah,
it's not easy to get gigs booked, so we
yeah,
go on hiatus for a while here and there. And that's one of the things that got me really excited about OG. You don't have to have a constant presence live to be able to maintain kind of a presence on the scene.
sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So, how do you feel that our project has benefited you so far, my friend?
I'm very very excited about it because how things are going and how things are moving. Like I'm very very happy about that. It's not easy, and I think this is the first time that I'm even receiving something out of my music. Do you get it? Yeah, this is the first time, so I'm very very excited about it.
Man, I hear that definitely. It's a great idea here that we've got, and we definitely are moving towards the idea of trying to get all of our artists overlapping with their crowds. It's a peer-to-peer way that we can have folks kind of share audience and just give everybody an opportunity to get their stuff out and to monetize themselves in a way that maybe wasn't possible before. So,
Yeah, sure.
what is your vision as a musician? What's your overall goal as a musician?
Um, for now, I want to stick to what I'm doing and what I think I know how to do best in the form of doing inspirational songs across the world, and people getting to know whom African Boy is and what I can do and what I'm capable of. You get it? So for now, I want to do things that people will fall in love with. I want everybody to um I don't want people to find it difficult relating to my music. When it comes to African Boy, I want everybody to be able to relate to the concept, what African Boy is all about.
Definitely, my friend. Absolutely. Yeah, and your music is very relatable. We got these tunes every time I'm out with somebody and they're asking about the project. We start blasting some African Boy. Man, I love your track
Yes, yes.
Resurrection. Everything that you've got up on the platform so far is fire, man. Like I'm loving it. It's got some killer
Thanks,
vibes.
thanks.
You bring
Yeah,
that
it
energy.
means a lot coming from you.
The
Yeah.
African Boy. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what are some of your influences? Like, do you have any other musicians that you admire? Is there anything that inspired you specifically?
Yeah, I have people that I look up to. I have people that I look up to, and I want to be, let's say, greater than them. Let me put it that way. Yeah, I want to be at where they are. I want to be great. You understand? Like I want to do something unique, something original in my own way. I look up to them though, but I don't want to do what they are doing. I want to come up with something original, something that makes me unique.
Well, I think you're doing it, man. I think I can hear all kinds of different musical influences all throughout your music, but it's got an energy in and of itself. It stands alone, man. And I strongly encourage everybody listening and getting involved to check out OGeinc.io so you can check out what fire this guy's bringing. It's amazing. Um, do you have anything you're working on now?
Yeah, sure. I have a lot. I have a lot. I have a lot. You see, this one wasn't something that was planned. It wasn't planned of like as an EP. But I'm now planning on working on something, some real EP, something that I'm actually working on. Yeah, with numbers, let's say 5 or 6 tracks as an EP, so that yeah we can take that and work on that as we move forward.
Awesome, man. That's fantastic. I can't wait to hear it. You have any idea of when you're going to be dropping, or are you just going to let us know as we go?
Yeah, so you said I'll be
When you'll be dropping new music.
okay. Now I'm now working on them, so as time goes on, I will let you know the time that when I'm ready, when I'm done with everything, I will let you know
All right, so you guys hear
so that
that?
we take it from there.
He's got some new drops that are going to be coming, and we'll be putting them up on the platform as they come. We've got some new work that we can get excited about. Oh, there you are. It's good to see you. Good to see you, bro.
Sure.
Man, last but not least, I just want to say congratulations on everything that you've done so far. You've got a great quality. It's amazing. I'm excited about everything that you're going to be doing, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to keep on working with you. Maybe one day we could collaborate on something, bro. I'm a musician myself. I drop beats, so let's
Yeah, I'll
let's
be
get
looking forward to that. I'll be looking forward to that on that collaboration.
all
I'll
right,
be
brother.
glad to work with you.
Awesome, man. Is there anything you want to add before we hop out? Is anything that you'd like to throw into the conversation?
I'm grateful for what you guys are doing for me, and God bless everyone. And we should put much work into what we're doing, I think, and believe that we will get somewhere very soon.
I'm with you on that. We're getting traction, man. We're gonna make it happen. Everything that we've got rolling out is exciting, and it's gonna be freaking awesome for your community, for your fans, and hopefully we'll grow your fan base and get an opportunity
Yeah.
to jam your music too. Man, much grace, man. Much grace.
Much grace, much grace, much grace. Yeah. So thanks to everybody out there supporting the movement, supporting African Boy Dream and everything. God bless them all.
Absolutely. All right, man. Well, hey, thanks so much for hopping on with us today and talking about this. I'll get you back on as soon as we have the opportunity to talk about more of what you're doing. As you get new music out, new tracks out, we'll promote the heck out of that. And I'll be seeing you soon. All right, brother.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, be well. We'll talk to you soon.
Spasiba.
Me and my girl dey one side. See this girl on bedside. She one day by my side. She one day by my side. She no snow, she no freeze back. She won't pay to see me like Sue. She be bride and I be groom, yeah. Yes, I be groom, yeah. She no snow, she no freeze back. She won't pay to see me like Sue. She be bride and I be groom, yeah. Yes, I be groom, yeah. I told her to hold on, but she don't want to slow down. Yeah. So I told her hold on, yeah, but she don't want to slow down. No. Yeah, me mommy show me, can't want see me. Yeah, I am a for my comedy I grow. I am a for my comedy. Life is a journey if you're not ready. Yeah. And if I'm in call, yeah, me coco so me so brand new. She feeling the boy, yo. She feeling me. She feeling the boy. She feeling the boy, yo. She feeling me. She feeling the boy. Hold on. But she don't want to slow down.
Robertson, otherwise known as Momo. He's the president of the organization, and he's going to give us a little bit of insight into the project to let us know what we can expect in the near future and kind of give us a little bit of a demystification. Eric, how you doing today, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm fantastic. Living the dream out here. First, I just wanted to ask you, what are the goals of the project at large?
So the main goal is to build a community of artists to feed off of each other. So essentially, the main thing that's been lacking from the artist community, or basically the artist community, is the community aspect of it. Artists are so detached from their fans as well as from each other that it's just not necessarily beneficial for, you know, the independent artist or the people who are trying to get into it. So our whole goal is to try to create a community to where every artist can basically help each other bring each other up, you know.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a fantastic community that we're building here. It's incredible. Everybody that I talk to about this is super excited, and it's an amazing concept. Tell me a little bit about how we're going to go ahead and achieve that goal.
So essentially, we're working with, I think right now, 12 to 15 artists. We're essentially minting their NFTs. We're making their collections. I mean, as far as like Chuck Miller, we sat down with him, we showed him how to do it, and he actually made his own collection under OJE Inc. So, you know, any volume of help that we can give for the artist, that's our goal, is just to be able to be there to help at any degree of necessity. If you're not technologically advanced and you don't know how to make NFTs, I mean, we're here to teach you. If you know about NFTs, you know how to do it, and you just want to be a part of something bigger, you know, a movement to, you know, create a community, then, you know, we're here for that. Really, it's just whatever we can do to empower the artist to make sure that they're the best performer they can be.
Awesome. So we're essentially going to be curating based off of the needs of the artist, and there's multifold formats that we can use for that. Mm-hmm. We'll be able to give them the assistance that they need. If we've got somebody that's tech savvy out there, they're able to do a little bit more hands-on kind of process. But for those of us that are out here just starting out, we're going to give them a little bit of help along the way of the process.
Exactly, and you know, just being there for them if they have any questions, you know, we're here to answer. Rather, you know, it's an audio question, you need something mastered. If it's a technology question, if it's a blockchain question, I mean, a graphics question, we have all these people here, you know, for these artists to basically be able to utilize. And I mean, I'm not big on trying to monetize from, you know, the artist. I really want them to be able to monetize themselves at the degree that they see fit.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about how the monetization process works for the artist individually.
So essentially, depending on how much help the individual needs. So, you know, we have African Bwoy who, you know, we set everything up. We put it on NFTs. We froze the data. We listed. We advertised. You know, as far as all of that, you know, it's a 50-50 split. It's $250, or depending on the price of the song for the artist, you know, a $30 song, they'll get $15 versus, you know, iTunes $1. If you have, you know, a $5 song, which is, you know, the lowest that we would recommend that you list for, you know, $250 is going to the artist, and then every single artist gets 10% royalties for the existence of that NFT. So if, you know, you are an artist and you actually become big and somebody owns that very first NFT from you, that thing could go for a couple $1 million, and then you're getting 10% of that.
Oh, so there's a chance for exponential growth for our artists to be able to monetize themselves further into the future. It's not just for the first time that we drop the actual music and art that goes along with the NFT. It's actually for the entire life of the NFT.
And I mean, I don't know anybody who's going to buy a song and then sell it for less than what they bought it for, you know, as far as an NFT. It's always either going to stay the same or appreciate. So that 10% is either going to maintain itself or appreciate. Not saying that that's a guarantee, but dictated off of supply and demand on the market. That's the reasonable route.
Awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic, man. There's a lot of people out there that are just completely unfamiliar with NFT technology. Do you think that you could elucidate that a little bit for us, just to give us an idea?
So essentially, NFTs are smart contracts, which is just a contract of code that's ran on the Ethereum blockchain. And all it does is have certain parameters that change, which is where you get the little picture in the middle. And then it'll have all these different layers that will change. And those layers are dictated upon rarity. So this is just your average JPEG. And then that is actually put on a individual token. So normally a token is fungible. Mm-hmm. So if I take a Bitcoin and you have a Bitcoin and we exchange those Bitcoins, it's fungible. Like it's an equal value, which is a necessity for a currency, but not necessarily essential for, artwork or music. Mm-hmm. So essentially you're taking that artist data, the music NFT, and you're assigning it to one token that can't be broken up into little pieces, and it's not equal to trade with another person that has an equal NFT. Mm-hmm. So it's a non-fungible token, which is where the word NFT comes from. That token is unique, and that data on that token can never be altered, or it's immutable. So that means if I give it to you, I send it to you, the blockchain records that on the ledger, and then everybody knows that is yours and you didn't steal it.
Right.
If somebody else brings an NFT to the platform, it has the same song, you're essentially solidifying your intellectual property whenever you create your own NFT. Doing this is kind of like a poor man's patent, but it has a lot more integrity than the poor man's patent because it's already been through court that, NFTs are digital ownership. So the NFT will grant the owner physical ownership, but it does not grant them intellectual property rights. And then again, we take the data and we store it on a decentralized file storage system. So that way the data is always retrievable. And, if a server goes down somewhere, you're not getting a 404 message for your NFT.
Right. Awesome. This is such a revolutionary project. Tell us a little bit about the community involvement that we have so far.
The response from the community has been astronomical. Anybody that we talk to is just ecstatic about the project. Whether they're into NFTs or not, it's not necessarily, the NFT aspect that gets them. It's the creating the community. That has been, the big part that people have all said that, they're lacking. Mm-hmm. Is the ability for their fans to come together, and actually have like some kind of place to talk and conversate about their artist, or enjoy their music and actually own their music again and know that they're supporting the artist. All of that has gotten great response from the community, and that's really what's just driven us to keep pushing. We really haven't been making much, and it's not that's not our goal. If we go broke tomorrow, I'm still going to be here answering questions, doing the same thing that I was doing yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I have a much bigger goal for this project than just, the crypto aspect or making money. I mean, money comes whenever you're doing the right thing. And I think the right thing is to definitely give a community to these artists that's needed.
That's such a respectable philosophy. I mean, I really admire that. So for those of us out there, in the internet world, that don't know the story behind OJE, you want to tell us a little bit about where the idea came from? So
Sean, the CEO of the company, his sister actually owns an art bar. It's an art and music bar. And the whole premise of the bar is just to be a place where any artist can come and display their art or play music or have conversations with other artists, and really just, create, again, a community, like a central community hub around, this philosophy. It's a place that, it's non-judgmental. You can go up there, they have open mic night, and no matter how you play, everybody's applauding you, They have a sign on the back porch that says we all bleed the same blood, and that's like a really big vibe that, like touched here whenever I got here, and gave me that real sense of home, because that's really how we treat each other. It doesn't matter your color, your skin, who you are, if you're gay, if you want to walk in with fishnets, like, we don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say any names, but we have a bartender up here that works in fishnets, and he's the coolest dude ever, but it's a very, very unjudgmental place, and I just wanted to take that spirit and bring it into, NFTs and crypto in the virtual world, to try to give them artists a worldwide platform to be able to monetize themselves and connect with their fans again.
Awesome. That's, man, I'm so excited to be hearing all of this right now, because for people that are listening to this for the very first time, learning about the project, there's so much that so many questions that people might have. Community focus is such a big thing. Inclusivity is really a big thing. Social trends right now, they're such that if you're promoting something that is excluding people or making people feel bad about what it is that they're doing, it's not going to be a successful project. And hearing the level of inclusivity and like the level of like personal involvement, from the position of president, you had mentioned before, that you want to be able to communicate personally with every artist, regardless of how high the volume gets.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your intentions with building the community in that way.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to talk to every single artist is because I wanted to be on a person-to-person basis with the artist to let them know that we're here for them. If they have any issues with our project basically being unfair, or they see some kind of improvement. We are building a community, and we completely accept that. So whenever I talk to every single artist, I want to just be able to introduce myself, tell them what we're about, what our vision is, and just let them really say, hey, this is a safe place. If you feel like you're being treated unfairly, don't leave, come tell us, and we'll be able to fix it together, because we're all about trying to better this community as a whole. And I don't care if we get up to having 15,000 people, we might have a 2-year waiting list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a personal relationship with every single artist if they want it, even if it's just a 5-minute hello.
Yeah.
But a relationship with the artist to the extent that they're comfortable, and that's very, very important to me, because I don't want to lose touch with the thing that we're building this, or the people that we're building this for. It's a very key aspect of staying in communication with them.
Absolutely. I'm so impressed with that. You personally wanting to be involved with the community in such a hands-on way. That's a big commitment. I was wondering, could you tell us a little bit, for those of us out there that are a little bit more tech savvy, that are a little bit more aware of the crypto sphere at large, tell us a little bit about the ins and outs of the project, not necessarily just the artist focus, but also like how it is that people that are interested in getting involved with OJE Token as a project can find value.
So essentially I'll just start out with, I guess I'll go down our roadmap kind of. So essentially we came out with OJE Token. OJE Token is our resolution to the failed staking pool concept, right, with all the ERC20s. Originally, you have to take a 3 to 5% hit buying the token, and then you have to take a 15% hit or 5% hit going into a staking pool, right? Not going to name the project, but there's certain projects out there that did that. And then you're taking a 15% hit out, and then you're taking another 15 or 5%, to basically sell. That whole process to me just seemed unreasonable. So what we did is we took OJE token and we basically crammed both of those buys into a 14% buy and then a 14% sell. And those basically facilitate an Ethereum redistribution. So there is a 14% fee, 7% of that will always get redistributed to all the holders. It all goes through the Uniswap router, so we don't have any control over what's being delegated to where. It's all written inside of the contract. Right. We have a 4% fee that goes to development on buys and sells, and a 3% that goes to a buyback wallet. Now, whenever we released all the tokens, there was a 95% supply that was in circulation, like out in the public. There was a 5% supply that we kept, and we froze it, so we can't dump it, we can't do anything. All we can do is take the Ethereum redistribution off of it. And that's basically how we're getting our funding. We're getting paid every time the community gets paid. So we took that idea, did the staking prospect of everything, and then that is our governance token. So whenever we come out with our virtual world, we'll have land plots that are all allocated to the community, and holding that token or owning a land plot will allocate you a certain amount of votes. Through voting, landowners, lands will be divided up into sections. I believe there's about 11,000. All of those will be an NFT that you can purchase, and prices will be varying from the downtown area all the way to the outside. Holding one of those, you'll be able to make a proposal and dictate the direction of the community, and then the community can come and vote on it. We gave majority of voting rights to the landholders. It's about 53% of the voting rights to the landholders, because we wanted to, again, take care of the problem that Decentraland or other projects like this have, is the fact that somebody can own a bunch of one token and have a humongous voting right. Right. We wanted the community to be able to be controlled by the actual individuals who are most invested in the community and its development, which are the landholders. Right. So then, going from that, we will have our utility token. Our utility token tokenomics are still up in the air, but it will have a native currency staking pool. So it will maintain the old way of, a 3% buy-in and then a entry for the staking pool in the native currency, but it will be a stable coin. So you will be receiving, it'll mitigate your risk on coming in and out of that staking pool. You're not going to have a depreciation of asset. You're just going to be, getting the rewards as well. But then again, if you take our token and you go to buy any of our NFTs from our marketplace when we have that set up, then you'll be able to get a discounted price or be included in some of the competitions or, other things that we're going to be included in. And then portions of all those sales will go right back to the artist or go right to the staking pool, all depending on which way it comes in around. So as far as, the marketplace, our goal is to have an application, which we're developing currently. It's going to be an aggregator wallet. So it will basically take your wallet and connect to all the different blockchains that are under that one wallet. And it'll compile all of those NFTs from all those blockchains into one smooth, user-friendly UI. Wow. You'll be able to take your music NFTs and put them in a folder, and from that folder you'll be able to make a playlist or combine them in any other way. But essentially, again, we were fixing the problem with, if you want to go and show your friend your NFT, you're going to have to go through about 3 or 4 different wallets, especially if you're purchasing on Polygon, BSC, Avalanche, any of those chains that run under the same Ethereum wallet. but you have multiple RPCs that you're switching between, and I'm sorry, I don't care who you are, MetaMask is slow.
Right. Yeah.
So you want to show somebody some NFTs on a different thing, it takes an extra 5 minutes to switch over, you know.
Right.
But we just want to have, you know, a way that you connect your wallet, compile all these things into an easy, you know, usable app so you can show your friends NFTs, and I think that's going to be very essential in the adoption of NFTs. The next upgrade we're going to be doing to that will be the NFT marketplace. So we'll have all of our musicians, artwork, music, everything on our marketplace. Anybody from any other chain would be able to bring their NFT and sell them on our marketplace. So it's going to be a cross-chain marketplace. So if you have something on BSC and you want to bring it to our marketplace and sell it, that's fine. You're more than welcome. Then from there, we're going to have our radio update. And our radio will be similar to a Pandora kind of style radio, to where you'll be able to thumbs up, thumbs down. You'll have ads, and then you'll be able to buy a membership or hold a certain amount of the governance token to get a free membership. And through doing this, all of that ad revenue is going back to the artist. We will probably split it between artists and stakers. But we are still, you know, hashing out how that's going to work. But we don't want to capture any of that ad revenue from the radio. We want all of that to go back into the community somehow.
Wow, that's a big mouthful. And that you just said a lot of things that I brought all kinds of questions popping up into my mind. But the thing that I'm drawing from this is a greater level of accessibility. For your asset, the ability to display in such a way that you don't have to be flipping around and waiting for loading and all of that sort of stuff. Something that is going to give you an opportunity to have exclusive access to our artists on our platform, and we're going to be working on multiple chains. And bring to the marketplace a variety of products that are going to be able to be displayed all in one place for the ease of use for our users out there. Yep. That's and
that's just the app.
That's revolutionary, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be incredible. You were saying?
Oh yeah. So with the app, we're going to take all of that. We're going to push it into the metaverse, and the thing about that is just, you know, it's going to be just like our virtual world, but our downtown hub is going to be our central music hub. And anytime that you build in the metaverse, anybody's going to ask you, what is your interoperability? Like, what if you're providing in the metaverse, you have to be able to be providing something to the ecosystem, right? So our focus is to be the hub of music inside the metaverse. So that means we're going to be throwing downtown concerts. We're going to have virtual venues. We're going to have, you know, vendor stands, you know, NFT tickets, you know, to concerts, you know, all kinds of stuff that is going to basically, you know, local hangout spots and stuff. Like we're actually 3D cameraing the OJE bar right now because we want to import that into our virtual world. And we're all going with this cyberpunky kind of theme. So, you know, you can think like big, tall industrial buildings with like cars flying overhead, like maybe a smog, you know, going down on the floor with like neon lights and holographic advertisements. And, you know, I mean, as far as like, you know, advertisements in our metaverse, like our downtown, we're going to be selling advertising, and a lot of that's going to be going back to the artist. You know, we're going to be generating 3D advertising. So you're walking down the street and you see like, you know, what is it, Back to the Future, where the big shark comes out, you know, and almost eats you. Like, you know, just all kinds of advertising opportunities like that. But again, it's all going to be pushed back into the community. We have revenue streams that we're going to be focusing on, which are land plot sales and, you know, depending on artist agreements and stuff like that. But we don't want to be taking a lot from the artists. We want to be providing them with more or equal to what we're able to provide for ourselves to be able to function.
Right. So the focus isn't so much about enriching yourselves.
No, I've been poor my whole life. I can be poor for the rest of it. I don't care.
I hear that.
I like helping people.
I hear that. Hey, you know, as a musician, all of this resonates so much with me because in the music industry, you know, if you even want to play out at a venue, you know, first off, this provides something that a lot of people may not be thinking about. Security of your assets. Like, and when I say that, I mean, as a musician, you know, lugging equipment around, that's a debacle. And you've always got people out there, you know, somebody spills their beer on your, you know, on your brand new amp, or
you know, freaking mixer.
Yeah, exactly. You got people out there, you know, they're not considering that, you know, you're something other than like some trained monkey up on stage here to entertain them, right? Yeah. So it gives a greater accessibility for the artists that maybe aren't able to go on tours, that maybe aren't able to, you know, get their equipment out as easily, that have children, that have maybe you know, an image that they're not comfortable with presenting publicly. Can you tell me a little bit about how it is that you're going to facilitate artists in the universe, in the metaverse, and how it is that they'll be able to present themselves and create image?
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially, like, you know, anything from a DJ sitting up there, you know, turning their tables in front of everybody to, you know, if you're an actual band, you can actually do a whole performance in your living room, as long as you have, you know, efficient audio quality and stuff like that. Even the audio, we can still dub over the audio, you know. You just play in front of a green screen. Right. And, you know, playing in your living room in front of a green screen, give a good performance, and then give us the audio, we dub over it, or you can do a live feeding, whatever. You know, it can be pre-recorded or it can be live, and you can do, you know, with the pre-recording, you can do multiple shows, or you can do live and do multiple shows in one night. I mean, it's completely up to, you know, the artist and how malleable they are on time, but there's always a solution out there for them to be able to utilize, you know, the virtual world or the metaverse, in that case that they can actually, you know, just do something from the comfort of their own homes with their own setup in front of a green screen, and then we just superimpose that on top of, you know, whatever their heart desires, you know, or we can just put them on our stage inside of our venue, you know. You can have a concert where somebody's up in space and their audience is floating around and you're seeing shooting stars. I mean, it's really like up to the artist imagination on what, you know, they want to facilitate as a memorable experience for their fans.
So like a greater level of creative expression beyond just your music. You get to create like aesthetic and so something that I was understanding is that you can like create avatars and so you'll be able to present your image as you wish. You know,
So I mean, as far as like, you know, musicians who maybe they're self-conscious about their looks, maybe they you know, they just don't like the way they look, or they just are too shy to actually get out there. You know, they can create a whole avatar of who they want to be and who they want to present themselves as, and you know, get out there and, you know, put their music out there, and their fans will love it for the music that they hear, not what they see, you know. One of the big problems in the music industry is how they groom artists. It's very hard on the artist. It's very mentally damaging for the artist, especially like young, you know, Disney kids, you know. It's just it's not something that is there to benefit them. It's there to benefit the companies.
Right.
And that's essentially what we wanted to mitigate, is to have a place to where these artists can monetize themselves and not have to worry about, you know, a corrupt corporation like coming down on them and saying, hey, you can't do this, you shouldn't do this, your contract, you know, like you have to, you know, have this certain Coke can in your hand. I mean, it's unreasonable on why their lives are so controlled whenever they have so many outlets. I mean, they're new outlets, but so many outlets to still be able to, you know, give experiences to their fans without having to give a piece of them, you know.
That's amazing. So like a greater level of creative control and input as an individual, as an artist is so attractive. when you're talking just now, I was thinking about the Free Britney thing and about Michael Jackson, being having a staff doctor that overdosed him on medicine.
A little bit, Kurt Cobain as well.
Right, and so many other artists that had a vision of what they wanted to do, but they had to compromise their vision in order to meet these these qualifications for the music industry. So this isn't like a record label. This isn't like a centralized organization that gives dictatorial mandates over the artist. It gives creative control to the artist.
I like to call ourselves a community launchpad.
That's awesome.
We're a decentralized, community-controlled launchpad. We basically allow just a platform for all artists to come and be able to expose themselves to a wider audience, get the help that they need, and be able to launch themselves, without having to sign their souls away.
So the big focus is going to be on artists that have not been signed by major labels, that are independent in nature.
Yes. We're not ruling out big artists, but that's not our main focus. We're going to give them the same treatment that we give everybody else.
Sure. So if Beyonce wants to hop on and mint an NFT on the platform,
and I guarantee you, if I have 10 people before her that I need to talk to, I'm going to be talking to them first.
Right.
I'm not really big on bringing corporations into our area because the corporations are the reason why we're here.
Right.
So I want to take that out of it and just have a community hub for artists. If Beyonce wants to come and mint a song, that's cool. Support our community, but you're going to have to abide by the same thing as everybody else had to go through.
I'm not going to get special treatment based off of Eric gets a little starstruck and wants to talk to Beyonce first. And
it's again like I'm not really big on that. I mean, Kurt Cobain is my biggest fan, or my biggest idol.
Right.
He hated corporations.
Yeah,
he thought they were infuriating and just he really didn't like that whole corporate greed.
You've got that whole like Nirvana vibe. When I first met you, I thought this guy he's on a different level here. Like it doesn't seem like he's like reachable on that level where you're going to be giving favoritism or special treatment to anybody.
Money's not. I mean, again, I've been poor my whole life. I've made a lot in crypto. I've lost a lot in crypto, and it's money. I mean, it's not.
Tell us a little bit about your experiences with crypto before the project, just as a person getting involved in.
Yeah, so I got into crypto. I want to say I started trading Bitcoin back in 2014, 2015. I was just dabbling, like $30 here, $30 there, just trying to read trends and stuff like that. And then I started getting into 2017, whenever Ethereum started getting really big. I started getting into Ethereum and realizing that, it's not just a payment method. Like, there's other things that can happen. Like, this is going to be a new internet, you know? And Ethereum's only been out since 2016, 2017. So the thought of having these applications run on these blockchain networks is fairly new. And that really grasps me because you can't own the internet now. And like whenever I was a kid, I wanted to own the internet, like a old 4chan guy, you wanted to really, but you couldn't. It was owned by 4 companies and they were all corrupt as hell. Google's motto used to be "Don't be evil," and then they changed it to "Do the right thing," and those necessarily aren't always the same.
Right, not compatible in vision. Right, absolutely.
So that's really what drives me, is just getting musicians away from having to be slaves to corporations. And if I've done that for any artist, I've done my job. And that's going to be a constant battle. It's not going to be something that is going to be given up lightly.
Right.
But they see us coming, they see the community growing, and they see, how much everybody's benefiting versus, the others. I mean, it's gonna have to happen to where we have basically a overtake of these corporations, and people just leave because they don't own their assets. They don't own their personal image. They don't own, I mean, you're signing yourself away to these companies for what? For money? For fame? I mean, you can do all of that yourself and not rely on a company. The only thing is missing is the community there to back you. And that's exactly what we're filling the gap for.
The word that I keep on hearing is community.
Yeah.
And so a community-driven project, that's something that in the music industry, honestly, as a consumer of music, I found that it's not there. You like when I was a kid, I liked a lot of kind of independent indie bands. And the thing that I liked about them was that they would do like exclusive rollouts where like you could get like a special CD or like they would give you like a package where they had a limited edition shirt.
Right.
There was a band called the Burden Brothers that I liked a lot. The frontman from the Toadies.
Oh yeah,
back in the days. And the drummer from Reverend Horton Heat, Taz Bentley, the guys are great. They're great. But what they eventually evolved into, isn't necessarily what they started out as. And as a
Green Day.
Yeah. So like community driven projects where like they're like, hey, look, you guys are helping us build our art form, our craft. We're going to give you something exclusive, and this kind of like falls into that. This gives that kind of vibe of like the same feeling that you get when you go check your mailbox and you find like a little package in there and you open it up and there's like an exclusive sticker that you're not gonna, there's only a limited amount and there's only so many shirts and you got one of them and you've got a special CD that's got a limited edition recording and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
So you'll be through this platform facilitating people in being able to like recreate that exclusive experience in kind of like a homogenized environment where now you want to listen to a song, you pop it on YouTube or on Spotify or on on one of these various platforms. And the thing that I'm hearing is whereas like artists are on Spotify and they're getting like not a exact or precise number, but let's say 0.00002
0.0048
there. So
cents per stream. Yeah.
This guy here, he's got his numbers down. So definitely. So you have a small percentage of even a fraction of a penny that you'll be getting per each stream. And with this is like an opportunity to you set the personal value that you have for your individual tracks, and you can consolidate and drop your albums here, and be able to have a great opportunity for personal enrichment and monetization as an artist. And also seems like what you're saying here is you're organizing a platform that gives a greater availability through these technologies than most anybody is actually.
Let me ask you this. So what does it mean whenever an artist sells out?
Well, I suppose that it means
like
that
whenever they're like, oh, they sold out, man, they're fucking.
They changed their image in favor of personal enrichment, exactly. And they gave up a part of themselves and kind of let their community down.
And what happens the majority of the time after they sell out is the community leaves.
Yeah. Yeah, they become less popular among the people that really brought them up.
Exactly, because the community loses respect in them. And why did they lose respect? Because they signed with a corporation to give themselves away. Through utilizing a decentralized community launchpad like we are, essentially. I mean, again, that's a name that I just came up with, but that's what I like to call it.
Yeah, placeholder.
By utilizing something like that, and if you're selling multi-platinum NFTs and you're still doing you and you don't have any pressure to change who you are, I mean, are you selling out?
It seems to me like you're actually you're giving the people what they want.
Exactly. So, I mean, utilizing a platform like this also keeps that connection and the respect of your community, that you're maintaining who you are and what they envision the artist is, and not changing that. Because everybody gets into an artist because of a reason, and it's usually a very deeply emotional reason. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they change a big part of themselves about that, they feel like, almost like they're abandoned. Right. And if they're monetizing themselves through NFTs, utilizing the community, getting community feedback, I mean, they're going to be there with the community and not changing their decisions on what the big man upstairs says.
Right.
They're actually going to be talking to their fans and saying, hey, this is what y'all like, this is what y'all didn't like, this is why y'all like it. Cool, I'll take that in consideration. Yeah. And then it's up to the artist. But you're not having this centralized entity come down on you and basically say, hey, if you don't do this, we're not going to, you're going to be in violation of your contract. And, the other flip side is that half your friends are going to leave you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's not a beneficial situation for anybody but the corporation.
How many record executives can boast that they want to be personally involved in every project that they're taking on?
They've probably never even met the big guy except for one or two times. They're dealing, and then most of the time these artists are producing music themselves from their home and going on tours that they're driving their own bus and doing all this own stuff. So like, why would they do that and just be feeding the mouth of something so corrupt with no personal gain?
That harkens back to the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah.
That's such a great placeholder there for that. The artists are providing a product. They're using their own assets. But because they have a contractual obligation, they don't have creative control over their own assets, and they're tied to a name that maybe they want to have a metamorphosis as a content creator. Maybe they want to go a completely different direction, and they've got the community support to do that creation. Why should it be that some central organization is able to have a stronghold over them?
Try to go renegotiate your contract and see if they,
Yeah.
Like Prince said, he went to his producer and he said, I just want to renegotiate the contract, and they said no, and he said, well, look, like I don't want to leave, I just want to renegotiate this to make it more fair, and they didn't want to do that. And if this whole problem keeps persisting, then either there's going to be no corporations to take on artists because there's going to be no more artists.
Right.
Right. So
so they're gonna have to hop into the virtual digital world anyway by creating these hollow shells of content that they would like to create anyway.
I mean, even if that wasn't there, there'd be nothing. And we're so lucky to have this technology be presented to us, and it's up to us to utilize it for the better, not for the worse. So.
Absolutely. That's something that I've thought a lot about. These types of technologies and platforms. There's a lot of people out there that are they have like dystopian concerns about how these things are going to affect their life and what it is that it's going to do to the quality of traditional conveyance of these styles of art forms. But what I'm hearing is going into this, it's kind of like going into the belly of the beast and taking it over from within. And conquering all of these concerns that people might have about, how is it that these things are going to have like dystopian implications for us. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to talk down on anyone or any project out there. People that are rolling out these technologies, I think that it's a wonderful thing. It's gracious. It's fantastic. But what I'm not seeing in projects like the Facebook metaverse or in even in you mentioned Decentraland and things like that, mm-hmm. is this personal passion. Mm-hmm. The focus on orienting yourself. As top guy, you're up there. You're important in the organization. You could just as easily, have a team of people meeting with these artists and acting as liaison for you. But you personally wanting to be involved, mm-hmm. that's so encouraging, and that gives kind of some insight into the personal passions of really everybody involved in the project. Everyone's putting their blood, sweat, and tears into it. You've said several times you've been poor all your life and you don't mind staying that way. I think that this project speaks to the idea that these beautiful ideas are going to hold their own water and stand up for themselves. And you're here on the scene. We're it's January 28th today as we're recording this, 2022. We've got a time marker of you putting out these assertions, and I haven't heard anybody saying all of this. This is groundbreaking. Yeah. This is going to be instrumental in facilitating artists all over and being able to break the shackles, and that's really impressive. You were mentioning also about people that actually want to go and buy OJE token, that they can use Uniswap, that it's swapped for Ethereum and all of that, and that they're paid dividends. So that occurs every time that somebody that's holding the token sells
or buys. Whenever somebody buys or sells, that 7% gets redistributed in Ethereum. So we take our fee, and everything gets distributed in Ethereum. And the point of that is to keep downward price pressure off of the chart.
Right.
We did a fair launch, so with it being 95% of tokens in circulation with 5% frozen, that's 100% in circulation at point in time of launch. We've already bought back about 8% of the supply, and that price floor of where we entered the market, or the listed price, can never return, because that amount of tokens will never be able to return to the liquidity pool.
So that creates an opportunity for
exponential
growth.
It creates a raising price floor. So essentially, as we keep buying back, those tokens will essentially keep being removed from circulation, and price will essentially have an upward trajectory. As far as charts, we're the only chart that I have seen, as far as other projects that I've been in that done pre-sales and stuff like that, to where our price hasn't dropped below our listing price. And the main reason because of that is that all of our coins were in circulation. And being a governance token, I don't want we blocked wallet to wallet transfers. Doing this, I wanted to keep people from so you have to have 100,000 OJE token in order to vote. I didn't want people to be able to pool their votes together to be able to count as one. As well as I didn't want a percentage of voting rights to be considered currency between whales. So as far as a governance token, I thought wallet to wallet transfers just needed to be nullified.
So this is like a built-in fairness mechanism for fairness. That's
for the
awesome.
Governance token. Yes, the other one will be wallet to wallet transfers, but this one, just the implications of what people could do, sending tokens from one wallet to another, and them also being included in voting rights, I didn't think was fair.
That's awesome. You mentioned 53% control of the community for those who are invested in ownership of the land plots. So what kind of community direction are you expecting to see based off of that?
Really, it's up to the community. We're going to have basically a set guidelines that, we're going to hand the keys to the city over with. And it's up to them on what they want to do, what they want to build, what improvements they want to make, what, they want to take away, what they want to allow. The only thing that they can't, dictate is just our land plots in the center of our world that is going to facilitate all of the virtual concerts and stuff like that. But as far as their property, we won't have any say over any of that.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And so the idea of being a decentralized organization, it's a decentralized autonomous organization. Yes.
It's going to be ran by a DAO.
That's awesome. That's really a cool idea for me, that the users are going to be able to have community direction and decide, based off of the culture that they are able to build, the direction of the community, and you say there will be some guidelines for the way that the community will be run, especially in the assets that are owned by the organization.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to say hop on there and just build a campfire and have like a VR space where I meet up with my friends, I could do that.
Yeah.
Or if I wanted to say have a brick and mortar store and I just basically import the entire place there, they could come to my store virtually.
Yeah. So I mean, as far as the tarot cards and stuff like that, people can come in and they can have their own little occult store or whatever store they want, and they can take their personal inventory, and let's say you have 10 feathers, you can make 10 NFTs, and that is your stock.
Right.
So you can always be able to keep track of your stock, because whenever somebody buys, that listing's gone. And then whenever they buy, you can also have it to where, so in our metaverse, we're going to have it to where whenever you walk in, you'll be able to pull up your little menu like this, and it'll be just a little menu that goes here. And whenever you walk into their store, it'll have their whole NFT collection there with the prices and everything like that. And let's say you want to buy, this feather, you click here, and then it'll take you to the actual website of the person with that item there, so you can go ahead and check out in PayPal or whatever media you want to use, and then bam, put in your stuff, done, and then you can walk out the store and you just went shopping.
That's awesome. So there's actually a mechanism for you to be able to acquire like real world assets and have something that you can put your hands on, rather than it's just like a little ape on a screen or something like that. Right?
Yeah, and you're just gonna have your menu here, and that'll be like a whole browser. So you'll be able just to scroll through, put in all your information, and then it'll be like a touch keyboard, so you'll be able to just do this, or you can even have it sit and just, whatever you want.
Oh, the implications are like it's astronomical, man. Like there's so much potential for the whole thing.
Now, again, you can reach a worldwide fan base or audience or customer base, from the comfort of their own home.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Is there anything else that you'd like to touch on before we get on out of here?
No, I just want to thank you for having me, and just keep on keeping on.
That's what I'm going to do. Guys, I'm going to be here every week with you. We're going to bring on a different artist from the platform and a different member of our team, just to give a little bit more insight personally. Let everybody have a voice. Just like we said, community driven. It's all about building a solid base on which we can launch a really great community organization. Really looking forward to seeing what happens with this. It's moving really smoothly. I mean,
keep working until I'm gone.
when you've got a group of people that are so focused on creating a quality product and not so focused on the idea of self-enrichment, in this magnanimous purveyance of an opportunity for different artists. Where are we at now? We have between 10 and 15 artists now on the platform. Yes. So you've got great room for growth. These artists that we've got on the platform, a lot of them have good fan bases already. So they'll be able to share their communities with the other artists that maybe weren't so fortunate as to be able to build a fan base. We're in the age of COVID right now. Those are implications that we're not even discussing there. You don't have to go out and wear a mask for 3 hours to go see your favorite performer. You just get to actually enjoy it from the comfort of your own home. The implications of the metaverse, just like amazing. The opportunity to go to your favorite band's show from the comfort of your couch. You can get up and dance with them. You can stand right next to them. That's amazing. Well, I'm sincerely looking forward to seeing what happens next. And next week we'll have a great guest for you. We're getting it lined up right now, folks. I really want to thank you for tuning in with us today. We hopefully have demystified the project a little bit for you, and we'll continue to do so every week. And for now, over and out, guys. Y'all be safe. Y'all be easy.